they make originally are the ones that come with the bike look like they're like a shoe mold. So that's not gonna work. That definitely never works for me. So I got a padded seat, a new seat, and then I put a cover on top of it. So
make sure you protect the family jewels.
It's just not it, and it's just pain. It's not even about like it hurting your butt as much as it hurting that area underneath.
Like the taint,
the perineum or whatever it's called.
Oh, well, you get more technical than me.
The areas between your butt and your balls, for like a better term.
That's the taint, ain't it?
The what?
The taint.
I didn't know.
it ain't your balls and it ain't your butt. It's just the taint.
I didn't know that's what that was. Yeah, so that's the area that tends to be the most painful because that's where you kind of sit, like it's
you have to like hold yourself over the seat for most of the time, or do you?
Not that would like on the mongoose I can stand up all day because it's a wider and it's a heavier bike. I mean, but you can't like pedal on a on a thin road bike and stand up the whole time. At least not me. Maybe somebody skinnier, but not me.
Welcome to Tank Talk with Kyle and Dave. Nah, this is actually in the building episode 3. If you watched or listened to any of our first couple episodes, you might have noticed that Rookie isn't here yet. He's trying to get his setup together. So we'll see if he can join us. But we actually should have a guest in less than 10 minutes because we started late. But Demonze Spruiel, a.k.a. D, formerly of the D and Davis Show, and co-founder and owner of We Are Regal Radio and War Media, should be joining us. And so we'll have at least 3 brothers talking for a while at least. I don't know where Rook said he went out creeping, Dave, so he may have got caught up into something again. I hope. Okay, he's joining us again. So hopefully we're not being made privy to something untoward as we get him back on the feed. Let's see. How you doing, bro?
There go my ball, brother. What up, Dave?
What's going on, man?
How's it doing, Mr. Means? How's it going?
Are you good, man?
Yeah, much better, man. You see, I found lighting to put on my black self. So the milk dud is stop it, man. Don't do that. You learning how to play. You learning how to play with the toys now. I see you, man.
Yeah, they come with new features every week, man, on StreamYard. I ain't mad at them.
Really? Oh, you about to start having filters and stuff, huh?
Maybe. I'm put bunny ears on this and stuff.
I know, right?
Big wagging tongues and stuff.
Saying something totally important, and you put some bunny ears on somebody.
Right.
Yeah,
make Dave look like a Chinese baby. or
Dave,
an anime baby.
Dave still look like a fucking lawyer to me. I'm sorry, he looked like an attorney with all them damn wall of books behind him. You know what I
mean? He in the law library getting his
right. Name. Right. You got your Arnold Palmer, brother?
Nah, I did something different this week because I don't have no whiskey.
What's in the cup? I said, what's in the cup?
I'll say I tried some sangria and some tropical punch.
You on the fruity drinks this week?
Yeah, it's almost a little too fruity, man. But
okay, yeah. You're supposed to say that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. You try it out a little bit, and you're like, wait a minute.
I'm just experimenting this week, but I'm gonna see how it flows. If it lays me out late or anything,
It ain't gonna lay you out, man. It's gonna mellow you out a little bit, and then before this show is over, it's gonna be gone. That's how sangria do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't tried much sangria. That's why I've tried it out. So,
and you do this, and your breath tastes like a starburst. You know what I mean? That's that food.
Yeah, it's like I dropped a couple Starbursts in the cup. I don't mind it.
That's what I got, man. You know you on something major. It's called Phantom Bride. You know you on something major when it's an animal skull on the front. So it's for you, gentlemen.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a pale ale guy, but let's say do your thing.
Yeah, and it's the palest of the ales. Trust me, this is whoa. You
Yeah.
feel that? You feel your chest hairs rise up when you drink that.
It's a thriller night with that one.
I know, right? That was my best friend. That was my best old man rendition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we gonna have to do something for October, dog. We gotta dress up or something, man. I want to see a clown nose on y'all niggas or something, dog. We gotta do something, dog. You know what I mean? Dress the cup up or something, fam.
Dress the cup up.
Yeah, I'm put some googly eyes on it.
Right. That'll scare the hell out of people for like 3 whole seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, you be dressing up for Halloween Day?
Hell no. I was gonna do the Prince Pop Up. I was gonna do the Prince Pop Up down and Purple Rain.
I just had to ask.
And let that speak for me during the show.
You should dress up as Prince, man. Just
I know that would
go around, get a motorcycle,
dude, and don't say nothing. Just keep acting. Hell no, every week, and then boom, just show up as Prince. He would floor the hell out of me and Kyle. We'd be like, "What the hell?"
Get some light-skinned girl, tell her to purify herself in the late Minnetonka.
Why does the Minnetonka? Yeah, man.
Or you could be Morris Day, and you could get one of your babies to hold the mirror up like Jerome and follow you around.
That'd be awesome. Either way, you got to buy some wigs.
No shit.
We gonna be on your wig selection. Dude, everything I do, I gotta get a wig too. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Unless you're gonna be a bald dude, you know.
Right. I mean, I could be Shaft, but I'm Shaft every day. I could be Dave Chappelle, but when I go and place a whole bunch of white people, I'm already Dave Chappelle. They like, hey, you look like
you look like Dave in '96, man. You gotta get some weight on.
Right. Before he went to Africa, ate a lot and came back. Right? Hell yeah.
Right. Yeah. He ate too much foo-foo.
He's still in the skinny man club. He just like a different chapter, so to speak. So he's a Illuminati chapter now.
Yeah. He could be worse. He could be Carrot Top and just be.
Oh man, Carrot Top spends so much time down here, bro.
Yeah, that's his town, ain't it?
I didn't know that, but I know he always is like on. He like on the big lights all the time. You know what I mean? Carrot Top always got a show out there.
Well, that's the only place his act makes sense.
That's the only place a lot of people acts make sense.
Yeah, that's why Vegas.
Remember before Michael Jackson died, he came to this motherfucker. He was here for a couple of years. He had a contract out here.
He'd still be out there if he was alive.
Fuck yeah, he would, because it'll always make sense here. They still do Elvis here, dog. Elvis been dead how many years? Elvis been dead half a century. He's still going platinum here. What'd you say?
Some of the white folks still ain't gonna admit he dead.
Hell no. They worse than we are about Tupac. We let Biggie die. Somehow we don't let Tupac die. I'm like, nigga, I live on the street he died on. Yeah, man. It happened, brother. It happened.
They tried to be mysterious with Tupac. With Biggie, they just showed his whole autopsy and everything. They were like, look, this nigga dead, man.
Well, I mean, this was Tupac's second time around. So, kind of like how a nigga, like, second time offender, you kind of got to do something different when he come back. You feel me?
Yeah, Tupac been shot up. He had been shot up so much. It's like in Boondocks where they had Gangstalicious.
Right.
And he was like, Riley was all caught in arms. He was like, Grandpa, Gangstalicious got shot. Grandpa's like, again? That's how Tupac was.
Hey man, shout out to Aaron Magruder, man. We gotta have Boondocks come back, man. We really do.
It's coming back.
Huh?
Yeah, you ain't hear about it coming back?
On
HBO Max. It's coming back.
Look at that. I did not know. HBO, huh? Really? Okay.
Yeah, HBO Max. But see the thing now, because Witherspoon died before they really got into it. So now they're like, do they get someone to imitate him? There was calls for a while too. Like his son imitated well, and he said he wanted to do the role, but they apparently they shut him down. There was also an idea of getting Jennifer Lewis to come on and be his sister, and she would she would basically be the grandpa role, but as the sister.
No, they got to bring him back, and they got to get a voice like him. You know what I mean?
I think the best move would be his son, because his son actually imitates him well.
I hear you.
They say they ain't trying to do that.
Yeah. Why the fuck wouldn't they be thinking of doing that? That's some hater shit, man. If it was white folk, they let it happen. How many Superman we seen? How many Batman we seen? Different types. So let's look at fucking like Black Panther, man.
Let me hold y'all, because let me get our guest on.
We got a guest?
Yeah, I told you who the guest was.
Brother, I was trying to get here. I'm sorry, my bad.
I know you got caught up trying to get on, but I told the audience who the guest was. So, ladies and gentlemen, Demonze Spruiel.
Man, that's right. He sure did. What up, man?
What's going on, brothers? How y'all feeling, man?
Oh, good.
Dave had a West Coast. Both of y'all out west. Yeah. How West Coast treating y'all?
Hot as hell here. What's up with you, Dave?
I can feel you on that one.
It's been hot enough out here.
Now y'all got 90 degrees. When we get 90 degrees, that's like fall weather, G. Like for real, we get 110 every day, D. Every day, D is like 110 something, dog.
I was out in Vegas. I ain't hell. I know my black ass ain't trying to deal with that.
That's to soak up all in these darkness.
My God. No, we was in Vegas for my bachelor party. That was 2010, and it was pretty cool then. It was hot, but the first time I went was in 2001 or 2. Man, I started sweating on the plane, and the plane didn't even land yet. I said, no, what in the hell am I going to? What is this?
And then the captain comes on. He's like, "This is your captain speaking. We're right over Las Vegas. If you look real close, you might be able to see Michael Jackson waving at. Is that a lion there? Anyway, it's about 127 degrees. You guys get packed light.
Basically, welcome to hell.
Welcome to Sin City.
And as you exit the plane, here's Carrot Top for your entertainment.
I know, right? And walk out, all you see is slot machines. But no, man,
slot.
No, everything's good, man. Dave, I've been down the block. I've seen the family that is now occupying your old residency. Seem like lovely people, although almost hit the child going down the street and on a scooter. So
look at that.
Not the same folks.
You did it like Homer Simpson.
To make the news again, D.
What'd you say, Kyle?
That'd be a great way for you to make the news again, D.
I know, right?
Oh, D did a Homer Simpson and stuff. Homer Simpson on the intro.
Hey, the kid was in the middle. I'm like, where's this damn boy going? Oh, he's going to Dave's house. Oh,
why you little? Dave smacked his forehead.
They worried they'd sell him the house back. We got black folks hitting us. We shouldn't have moved over here on Oaken Wall.
What you say? Okra lawn?
Okay. It's Oaken Wall, but yeah, they call it Okra Law or something.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
What?
Oh shit!
I
Yeah,
think you
these
need to go
kids-
back to the Arnold Palmer the Willis Palmer, whatever the hell you call it. You need to go back.
I'm feeling this, man. The
sangria and fruit punch is not working.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go back, Kyle. Go back. Kyle, go back to the Arnold Palmer. Come on, man.
Whoa, what you sipping on, Cuzzo?
He got Kool-Aid, basically.
The Arnold Willis Palmer is still the official drink of the show.
Arnold
I'm just yeah.
Look, you got your Cuzzo and I got mine. I got some dark, so
There we go.
Yes,
There we
sir.
go.
I thought you was
Your
sweating
mind's
because you
about
were
that.
working out. I was about to give you kudos because you my workout idol, but you
Who,
over
me?
there drinking. Yeah, you fool.
Yeah. Do you know that turns into sugar? That metabolizes into sugar, and sugar is a very good fuel, isn't it?
It's after
Tell 'em.
9, Dave.
Tell him.
It's after 9, Dave. The only curling he doing is with some brown liquor.
1, 2. I did my 100 push-ups for the day,
Right.
and now I'm drinking. So you know.
Hey, man, let them know, man.
Hey, let me tell you
Let 'em
something.
know.
If The Rock can drink every day down there with some tequila, my little black ass can drink some yak every once in a while.
He
That's what I
does?
say.
He does.
Man, he drinks
he
tequila
also-
like his water.
He also like
God.
about 6'10", though. I mean,
Well,
it ain't too
I mean,
much. You can't.
You got to drink a lot to.
He got to eat,
That's
drink,
true.
and everything a lot. So
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
sorry
yeah,
for
he
that
does
too,
suck.
wife, man. Shit, golly, shit.
Shout out to Black Adam.
Yeah, that's
So
gonna be
wait a minute.
pretty
So
cool.
I heard y'all was talking about Wakanda. Well, first off, Wakanda Forever.
Well, we was talking we was talking about the Boondocks Revival. You heard about that, right, D?
Oh, it's gonna be on HBO Max, right?
Right, yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
it but
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Everybody knew it.
And we got into them having to replace John Witherspoon.
Oh,
And,
yeah, that's right.
What
You
you
know,
think, man?
There's some different ways that you can go with that, but I would hope that they would get his son to imitate him. You know, but it seems like from what I've heard, they may not be trying to do that. I don't know if they're gonna get
Can his son?
comedian.
Can his son imitate his voice very well?
Yeah, he's done some videos and stuff where he's imitating.
Oh, really?
him.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
So
But,
I don't know
you know,
why
maybe
they
they
don't
could
give
get
him
it.
a
Maybe they could get. I don't know. Maybe they want a bigger name. Like remember when Robin Harris died and they didn't get a big name.
They didn't get a big name then. No, they got Big Worm.
Right,
They got Big Worm. He was an unknown at that time, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wait,
Before he said Smokey.
Wait a minute. What if Big Worm
For
made the
Baby
turn?
Kids.
He did the voice of Robin Williams. Yeah.
Robin
I
Harris.
did. Wait, hold on.
Robin
He
Harris.
didn't do all of it though. He didn't do all of it, did he?
He did, yeah.
They
Yeah,
They
man.
did.
cartoon.
Robin Harris
Wait a
did.
minute, they made a cartoon. I mean, well, it's already
Right.
a cartoon. They
The
made a
movie,
series
remember?
off of it,
Cartoon.
right?
Yeah.
Ah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Baby's kids.
I forgot about that. Well, you
But
know
we
what?
can-
I'll put it like this: if
Go ahead,
if ODB's son couldn't play ODB in the Wu-Tang TV show, it wouldn't surprise me if John Witherspoon's son couldn't play his voice in the Boondocks. I mean, it's Hollywood. It's going to. You know what? I think theoretically, Rook, you're right. You think it will be an easy transition, and Cal, as you say, he's already put out videos showing that he can do this. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, but it comes down to the powers that be, man. It's kind of like, yeah, you know what?
It is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's that red tape,
Yeah.
and the whiteness of Hollywood. Period. I mean, that's basically what's keeping them from being logical. I would rather take all of his old stuff, all of his old scripts, and all of his outtakes, and have somebody like me just sit up and edit that into what the fuck they
That's
write.
not gonna work, Rick.
I know that, but I said I would rather.
That gonna be bootleg as hell. It's gonna be
Bro,
sound like an old kung fu movie.
Right. What you talk about, boy?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't we do know that it's technology out there that does the voice simulation though.
It is.
So
It is.
I mean, as long as you just have John Witherspoon just talking, they can throw that into the program and you can just feed him a script and he'll just say it. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, in a little while,
a lot of ways.
you know what I'm
can do
saying?
it.
You want it's a lot of ways you can do it. But in a little while, you
A lot
probably
of
won't even
ways.
have to have anybody kind of go into a studio. It's just like a program, and it's
The
just kind
minds,
of, yeah.
but you know that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get somebody to go in the studio because they want to snap the pictures. They want to write they want to write it up and let everybody know who's gonna be acting as John Witherspoon. It's always got to be like that, man. I don't know why, but yeah.
So when is it?
Let's
When is
go.
it dropping on HBO Max? When is it? Well, just put a button on the cuzzle. When is it dropping on HBO Max? Do we know? Is it next year?
I don't know, because if they haven't figured out this replacing grandpa thing yet, they probably haven't. They're probably not that far along in the producing yet. So I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything.
They probably third episode. They just can't talk about it. That's what I think. Because cartoons take a long time to produce, man. I bet you they already got that. They just ain't saying shit yet.
It may be on the low. Like I said, I haven't heard. The last I heard was about the issue with replacing Witherspoon around the time he died. But that's,
Okay.
But yeah, if this is a good transition into Chadwick Boseman, and of course, R.I.P. Of course, rest in peace, rest in power, all that, and just a devastating loss, unexpected, and all that, and just reflecting on him from the past weekend or so, I think it's hard to overstate the loss. I would say, because he really was a movie star. He was a real movie star, and he was a guy who was. All right, Rook, there we go. He was a guy who really was thoughtful, and he wanted to have meaning behind the things that he did in life and in art, and he represented the ancestors well at every turn. It's amazing the career he had in such a short time, and then we find out the extent to which he worked under 4 years.
Wow,
dealing with colon cancer, colorectal cancer, and he kept pumping out movies. He did these big, crazy Marvel movies. He did other action movies. He did, movies like Marshall,
right?
And he just kept working. He kept doing all this meaningful work and doing things for kids, working with St. Jude's. Like it's not enough flowers we could give that man. So, it really hurts to not be able to watch him work, and as to not have the possibility to interview him in the future, or do whatever, just to be in his presence. I would have liked to have done that, and of course, there's the issue of replacing them as Black Panther.
Oh God, that's huge. That's huge.
Yep. I don't know if y'all just want to start off with your thoughts on the loss, and then we could go into the more trivial things. But what y'all think when you heard about it, and what the effect it had on you, or whatever.
I was talking to an ex.
Listen, it was. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
No. Go ahead, man. You first.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. No, it was definitely shocking, man. It was just sitting down in the basement, and I got Champ Joe Tanksley hit us up on the little thread that we had with the guys, and he was like, Chadwick Boseman passed away. I'm like, what? So of course, what the first thing you do, you go to Twitter, and you look, and you see it, and you want it to be you don't want it to be real, right? And then you search. It kind of takes me back to when Kobe Bryant passed away. Like my grandmother called. It's like, yay, did you know that Kobe Bryant passed away? I'm like, get out of here. I was like half asleep. And then I'm hopped up. I'm like shaking, like saying as if it was somebody that I really personally knew. And then you get the confirmation, like, yeah, it's real. It was kind of the same thing. It's kind of like, man, this brother has been putting out consistent, critically acclaimed, some of them, work. You know what I'm saying? And in a short amount of time. I mean, he was pumping out hits, man.
Cranking them out.
Yeah.
He was cranking them out. He was cranking out hits. And
$1 billion movies, cuz.
$1 billion movies. the first black. We seeing it right here on the T-shirt. Rook throwing up the artwork. First black superhero movie to gross that big. Now you had like Blade with Wesley Snipes and things like that, but this was on a whole nother level,
Right.
a whole nother level. And he was responsible for it, man. He was a part of it. He's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, people who is not even into superhero movies. The reason why they went to go see him, because like, oh man, that's the guy who played Jackie Robinson. Oh shit, that's a dude who played James Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yeah, he started to get this a role going and knocking out these biopics, and it's kind of like, man, now you the king. You the king of the MCU. Man, it's huge, man, and it's a loss. The biggest thing to me, even over all that what I just said, is the simple fact that because you touched on it. He was working as he had stage 3 colon cancer.
Yeah.
He was having surgery on the side. He was having surgeries on the side and was still able to go to work. Albeit he's not out digging ditches. But he's still going to work and putting out great product. I mean, he's acting his ass off, going through all of that. So they hear that he had it, and if people was kind of fronting on him when he, you know what I'm saying, when he started to lose all the weight. I'm naive. I'm thinking like, well, damn, maybe he's doing this for a role. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even thinking of it kind of like, oh man, what is he up to? He looked weird. I bet you I could take it. I bet you I could fight Black Panther now. You know what I'm saying? You know, some foolishness people will say. But to see that brother continuously work, put out good product, great acting, and to be going through that, man, listen. You think you having a bad day? You think you having a bad day, man? Just think about that guy, what he had to do. I'm like I said before, he's not out digging ditches, but he out there doing this with stage 3 and possibly at one point in time, probably stage 4 cancer.
Right.
Hey man, it's only right that people say he the king.
There's so much fortitude, man, just to do that, you know, and do it well and represent the culture and the people like he did. You know, he could have been out there doing crap, but he was doing groundbreaking stuff, man, and
exactly.
It was, you know, like I said, just a big loss, man. Rook, you want to go in?
That's just weird. I was talking to an ex, so you know that's a situation that rarely happens. You know, you talking to somebody you don't talk to a long time. So she tells me, "Babe, you heard?" And she shows me a picture of Chadwick, and it's the words on the screen. I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, I just knew she was bullshitting. I was like, she's bullshitting me. It's the ex. She bullshit. I said, stop playing. For the longest, it's like 3-4 lines of me just saying, stop bullshitting, stop playing. Are you lying? You know, stuff like that. And then I did my Google search, and I'm talking about I just hit Google. I didn't put his name in there. He was on the front page. It was just like boom, right there. So I was like, I was quiet, bro, because you know, me being in the film world, I know how important that guy was to us, man. And I say us because, you know, working in film and black at the same time, it was like, yo, that's awesome. When I saw Black Panther and I got a son and I was able to take him to the movies and see that, magical. You know, this guy brought a whole bunch of guys, this grown ass men, back to feeling like little boys again with his talent. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that movie was so climactic and so like historical that it gave Avengers a run for its money. And you know, when Avengers was coming out, they were like, hey, what's gonna happen? Because you know, Black Panther kind of so I don't know, man. The stuff that he was able to be a part of, you know what I'm saying, and all the people that worked on that set is it's just it opened a big hole in the atmosphere for all of us black producers to come through it. And when I saw that, man, I came about as close as I could to crying in the theater. You know what I mean? And so, you know, when I heard about this, man, it took me a couple of days, but this is what happened. Swear to God, I put off looking at Jackie Robinson so long, and I looked at.
Oh, you had never seen it?
No, and I looked at James Brown, and I was
Really?
just like, yeah. I looked at James Brown, and I hated his makeup, and I was just like, I ain't looking at that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even hear about Marshall. You feel me? So
I
haven't seen that.
Really overlooked.
So
I didn't see that.
I watched Marshall yesterday. Phenomenal.
Okay.
I don't want to see nobody else doing. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm watching Jackie Robinson, man, and I don't even remember. I couldn't even tell you what scene it was, man. I think it was a scene where he got beamed in the head. He got beamed in the head by one of the racist pitchers, and I was boo-hoo crying, man. And it ain't had nothing to do with him getting hit or nothing. It was just like, that man is amazing. The way he portrays these other characters on screen in these period films. My dad used to love period films so much because you go back in time and shit without a time machine. The way he did it was just flawless, man. It was almost like you're looking at Jackie Robinson. It was almost like you're looking at, Thurgood Marshall. I looked at Thurgood yesterday. I was floored, bro. So he went from being an athlete to being an attorney, boom, like that. And
I think there's a through line. I think that you can, and there was a tweet that I saw that said this really well. Like, you know, he made movies about all these men, these historical men, and one day somebody's gonna act as him in a movie as well, because he embodied something. There was something within him before he even had those roles that allowed him to embrace those people and the spirits that they had. Right. And that's why he came across so convincingly as you know, these are different men. They're all great men, but they're all very different men.
Very different.
Jackie Robinson to James Brown to Thurgood Marshall to T'Challa. And you know, you look at the first scene that he had in, not even in Black Panther, but in Civil War, like the first shot of him, he's at this post, he's at this overlooking the city, like at this I forget the word, but you know, he's standing at a overlooking at the top of a building, and he looks over, and it's just like, that's like a real movie star right there. You see that, you know, the same thing that you see in Denzel and in Brad Pitt and George Clooney and all them guys.
Lead man.
Going back to like a Steve McQueen or somebody, like real people who, when they come on the screen, they just take up the screen. Right. They take all your attention. Right. He was that dude. And like, just looking at, like, he embodied, like I said, he embodied that. And I want to mention one thing, Dave, if you want to jump in right after this, feel free. But you know, Demonze, this will trip you out. I don't know if you saw this online, but Marvel said that he the first role in Marvel that he auditioned for was Drax. And did you know that?
I remember
Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he did a couple of
and they showed some footage of his audition, and the lady who auditioned him said that, because you know Drax was like a ruler on his planet,
right?
Yeah. So they said that, you know, they said that he wasn't right for the role, but he imbued such a regality into the character that they knew he was going to be perfect for T'Challa. So when T'Challa came up, they was like, okay, that's the only dude we could go after, because he made Drax like this ultra, even though he was like a warrior king, but he made him into like this really sophisticated type of king in his acting, and just that little audition. So it just showed you how much of how classy he was, you know, that just oozed out of him, man. He was.
We talking about Drax who Dave Bautista played. Wow.
Right. Yes.
You know, you gotta be a phenomenal actor to take that character and see, like,
and make him regal, right? Make him regal.
Make him regal. Wow, that was crazy.
But it was just natural to him. He couldn't act it any other way.
Yeah.
You're right. That's just his style, man. He makes that look so easy. He makes it look so easy, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dave, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people kind of forget about part of his presence on the screen and just his skill of acting is because he's a theater trained actor, and that's probably what kind of distinguished him, amongst a lot of actors, and a lot of the greats are theater trained actors, and that's really I think what distinguished him, and it also is part of what also is one of the reasons why he did get a lot of major roles, and compared to what's been happening in the last 15 years in like black film, or when black characters are in film and mainstream films, they go to the Brits. They go to black British actors.
Right.
And that was he was one of the few actors that bucked that trend. So I mean, you for the last 10 years you had Idris Elba, you had Chiwetel, you had David O, you had so many of these different actors that were just from the British school of film, from acting, and he was just one of the first African American characters when just get these pivotal roles.
A brother from South Carolina, Dave.
Yeah, man. Doing that thing, doing that accent. You know what I'm saying? Doing that accent.
Right. I mean, I'm sure, granted, Chadwick's a little shorter, David O was shorter, but you would think you would go to an African actor to, for that type of role initially, but no, he was been able, but that's what the point that I'm going with this, Rook, is that he was one of the few people to necessarily pull off that role and be able to pivot like that. I mean, he was able to be versatile to say like Idris was. I mean, Idris, being able to be a Stringer Bell and no one knowing that, his original British. Yeah, I mean, he and I think that's something that really speaks to his character, and also, to his, willpower to be able to act through, despite having stage 3 colon cancer. I think that attests to really just his passion for the craft. I mentioned it to Kyle recently that I've been reading and following David Goggins, who's a Navy SEAL Can't Hurt Me fame. And essentially, he's an ultra marathoner. He was in every pretty special forces in the, special forces in the Navy, military, Air Force, and just really an ultra marathoner. And really, what he says is that motivation is not something that's going to sustain you. He's like, motivation is temporary. For you to sustain a high intensity, in any pursuit, you have to have a passion for it. And I think, he definitely had a passion for it, and that's what pretty much sustained him through that.
Right quick, Dave mentioned the accent thing, and if you would do some reading, I don't know if it was in the Rolling Stone story on the making of the movie, I believe it was, but Chadwick spoke about them trying to initially have him do a British accent for T'Challa, and he insisted no.
Wow, that's so horrible. That's horrible.
I heard the story to say that he wanted it to be an African accent, but I didn't know he wanted to be British.
Well, yeah, I saw it in I saw it in an excerpt over the weekend, but that's kind of the go-to thing. Look, that's Hollywood, like you said.
I know.
That's the go-to thing. Whenever you have,
excuse me as I wince. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whenever you have something that's foreign, it goes to being a British accent thing. But he insisted that the accent be based in a real African language, that they speak African languages in the movie. And that's how thorough he was about the culture.
Man.
That's the value and example that hopefully, black actors and black producers and directors, I think a lot of people will follow that, because I think when you talk about the way that people have reacted to his loss, I think people will feel this going forward, and hopefully people will take his example and repping the culture right, repping black people right, and not just doing whatever is out there that's available to you.
Right.
Just because there's some money in it or some fame or whatever. Hopefully a lot of these entertainers out here really take his example and really do more to really imbue what they and instill what they do with dignity and thought for black people in general, and do things to uplift us and not just entertain us.
Because after you do a couple of movies, it's like, okay, now can you start doing shit that speaks to you and at least speaks to you and represents us. Can you do that now? Or do we got to keep on singing and dancing?
Yeah.
I would say the one thing I want to put out there about Chadwick, man, he was bold. What's the word I'm looking for? He knew he was a shit, and this is why I mean. This is like I think he was in a sense kind of braggadocious in his acting.
Yeah,
you fucking go from Jackie Robinson to James Brown to Thurgood Marshall. You gotta have stones. You gotta have stones to be like, nah, B, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna
do that. Right.
Jackie Robinson, James Brown, and Thurgood Marshall. Do you know the intestinal fortitude that he had in himself? Like,
right.
Man, I got this shit. Don't worry about it. And he fucking knocked them out of the park. And then was like, I'm about to be fucking T'Challa. Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying?
With an all-black cast.
All-black cast, black director. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to be able to look in yourself in the mirror like, you a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And believe it. And believe it. And if he did not have that belief in himself, he wouldn't have been able to do all of that. He wouldn't have garnered ABC to play Black Panther with no commercials. And then after that, have an entire special about him. This right here is going to be forever connected to him being Wakanda forever. With, you know, this is going to be like he was a part, man. He has cemented himself not just in Black culture, because you know he's there. He has cemented himself in American culture. Damn, they want to say global, because with Black Panther, MCU,
all over the place.
It's beyond. It's everywhere. So now he has been cemented. It's like a flashpoint in cinematic and pop culture history. That's some shit.
We talk about the crossover appeal. There's nobody who's going to forget the moment in Endgame where he was the one who started the rally.
Right.
He was the first voice, the silhouette. When they was down.
Anthony Mackie was the first voice, but he was the first silhouette.
Okay, yeah, you got.
Wow.
Okay. D would get that, but he was. But when you
on your left, on your left,
nerds, ladies and gentlemen, they going at it.
When you we on the blurred battle.
Yeah,
but when you saw that silhouette, you knew it was on then, and then
man,
you know that it's nobody could watch that now and not be emotional.
Dude, Cuzzo, it wasn't even like he was just like walking stiffly, like, yes, I'm coming to say it today. My man had a strut. Like,
yeah.
Like, what's up? I mean, he came strutting with the sister next to him. Like, I mean, he came in with the strut. Like, this is some black shit about to happen right now.
Right, the sisters was flanking them.
Black shit.
Some black shit.
The sisters was flanking them. It's like, we coming for your ass.
All he needed was the straw chair. All he needed was a straw chair. Him sitting in it, and the two sisters sitting right next to him, like, Cap, I got you.
Come on.
Man.
Brace yourself
cinematic
for this black. Right. Brace yourself for this black.
Cinematic. That scene right there, Cuzzo, as you said,
man,
that cinematic history.
Mm-hmm.
Cinematic history.
Demonze, you gotta get a boy now, bro. You gotta have a boy now.
You gotta
have a boy now, man.
I am.
Rick, you ain't listened to the whole saga when he was still on the show on Dear Davis.
Well, it was a couple of them.
The snip or not to snip saga.
Look at Dave cracking up.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. So we did have a show. We did have a show titled the Pullout King. Number 2.
That's me, nigga. The Pullout King. That's me.
Number two, I was laying in the bed this morning. I was laying in the bed this morning with the missus, and I was like, damn, with all this COVID. Because she just went to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? She had a doctor's appointment. And it dawned on me, I'm like, well, shit, with all this COVID out here, you know what I'm saying? I could probably, you know what I'm saying? I got to worry about, you know, say having to go to work and got to take a few days off. I'm laying on the couch. Oh, I got to do it on a Friday. I mean, the people out on the streets right now, you know what I'm saying? I could just go ahead and go and get the snip now. And I could just come back home. Because I'm working from home for the rest of the year. So, like,
all that time home, I'm surprised you already knocked Chanel up.
Dude, it's a lot of COVID babies around here, dog.
Hey, it ain't one coming from Merrill Street. I tell you that. We out. Well, I'm out there. I'm out that game.
Not on Merrill. No. You made Cal had to get his little red cup. You feel me?
Hey,
red cup.
No. He gonna take one too many sips one night.
Hey, man.
The alcohol.
Man, what's my name, brother?
He gonna pull out. Get a little sloppy during the COVID, right?
Apparently, you don't know that actually kills. That actually lowers your sperm count. Keep on drinking.
Dave, don't come with that studio shit, Dave. Dave, you already got the experience with liquor and sex.
Exactly. That's why I have them. Exactly. If I was drinking Arnold Power and I
gotta beer myself, man.
Way more dudes have drunk and made babies than not made babies.
Hey man, listen. The whiskey can take you out for a second, but it's just for a second. You gonna get the job done. After that, maybe I don't know you're dead. But hey man, no. We no. Hey, listen. You know what? You know what was kind of crazy? I know Rook said like, hey man, you gotta. I know Rook said, man, hey man, you gotta have a son. Grace, my daughter, 8-year-old daughter, she loved Black Panther. When it came to
it's not
was it on
limited
Netflix?
to boys.
Yeah. Oh no, not at all.
The female presence.
I just want to go. No doubt. But I just want to kind of give y'all just kind of like how it really impacted just the household in general. You know, Chanel don't give a shit. So most niggas being Grace. Chanel doesn't care. But I'm thinking, was Black Panther on Netflix? Was it on Netflix? Before it was Disney Plus, right?
For a while. Now it's just
right? Okay.
Now it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Disney Plus. Okay, dude. I remember one day because I don't remember. I don't think I took her to the movies to go see it because Black Panther came out in 2018, so she was 6. So it was still kind of like, yeah, you're not ready for that. You cool with like Inside Out and Frozen and Incredibles type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't ready, Moana. You ain't ready for this right here, right? So when it did come to Netflix, Kia loves, you know what I'm saying? She watches her Disney shows, whatever like that. So I was like, all right, well, you at home now, a little bit older, maybe 7 now. Like, all right, go ahead and check out Black Panther. Let me tell y'all something. She would watch that movie front to back over and over and over. And then the first time I caught her like really watching it, and I walked in and she was crying. And I was like, damn, what's wrong? She was like, Killmonger. I loved him. I said, well, shit, I'm raising Angela Davis here right now. God damn it, I done it. So I'm like, she was into, she loved the character Killmonger. She was, and every time she watched it, she'll cry. And I'm like, she don't care nothing. There you go. She care nothing about T'Challa. How you cool? She rock with Killmonger.
Don't let Tony see
when. Oh man, listen. When I know, right? How dare you like this non-acting Michael B. Jordan? But when I told her the news, we kind of was over. We was kind of talking about it in the car, and we was like, yeah, he passed away. And she like, what? Wait a minute. I mean, death hasn't really registered I mean, we've had family members in our family pass away, yes, but still young. You know what I'm saying? So she's kind of understanding the whole concept of death still. Like she gets it, but you know, she's 8 years old. I try to keep her innocent for the most part. But it hit her though. It did hit her. She didn't cry, but she was like, "Damn, like he died." And her first thing now, anybody passed away, was it COVID? I'm like, wasn't COVID.
Right.
Wasn't coronavirus.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it was not that. But I'm like, no, he was really sick and he had been sick for a while and he passed away. And she's like, Dad, like, man, she's like, I love Black Panther. I love Black Panther. So I don't know, man. I put up the post. I kind of repost and retweeted what Jamel Hill said, basically like, just because Chadwick is gone, we cannot lose this character, especially for Black culture and in American cinematic community. Like we can't lose that. Yeah, we can't lose that. I don't know how, and I don't know Kyle. I know you said earlier. We can kind of. What's up?
We've seen this tons of times. How many Batmans?
Oh yeah.
How many
exactly. Yeah.
No,
it make comparison to that, right? With Batman,
right?
What's up?
Like, has there been a recasting in the MCU? Yeah, it has.
You know,
Maine
gave that up. Terrence Howard. He said, "You ain't paying me right, Maine."
You know what? Wait a minute.
Take your ass on there. We got Don Cheadle on speed dial.
Wait a minute. I thought they let him go. It was because they wasn't paying him.
Yeah, you know what happened, man. Terrence Howard thought he wanted to get more money off Iron Man because he didn't think it was gonna be that big a movie. When he saw that how big Iron Man was, he wanted more money. They said no,
okay,
and they put Don Cheadle in the role. That's it.
Damn.
Wow.
He overplayed his hand.
Like DMX say, stop being greedy.
Yeah. But I mean, he probably wasn't even greedy. I understand where he was coming from, but it's like
I feel him too. But hey, man, sometimes you just gotta see something like, damn, this kind of blew up. Let me stick around here a little bit longer.
Now he's in history for passing that shit up because I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Kyle. I didn't know.
Yeah. But Terrence, I can imagine him saying some slick shit that just was like, he probably said some slick shit to Robert Downey. He was like, "Hey, get this dude out of here, man."
I'm waiting for the light skin bar to come. It hasn't come yet.
I don't understand.
Wait, which day, Dave?
I'm waiting for the light skin bar to come, and they ain't came yet. Because I got them last week on the Michael Jordan.
He tried to come at us on some.
He was black.
Wait. Said the dark skin don't age well. Look at Demonze right there.
Demonze worked hard. First of all, so no offense, Demonze worked harder than everybody to keep this. That's
hey, I try.
Yeah, but way before Demonze looked the same that he looked since '95. That was before he was doing any lifting. He wasn't doing any lifting in '95.
That's
genetics.
No,
don't you know what happens to your wrinkles when you lift? Your muscles get bigger and your wrinkles ain't seen no more. That's all it is. Demonze all he got to do is take a damn diet and his ass to be wrinkled like the rest of us.
What? It ain't even about being wrinkled.
No. Black is sexy, boy. Dark skin is sexy, boy. You know it.
No, Dave, you just tried to extrapolate the dysfunction in your family and put it all over all.
Oh hell no!
We brought out the syllables for you.
First of all, ain't nobody in my family as dark as y'all. If you had to put my old man outside for a couple days, and then he'd be as dark as you. Since we making it personal,
man. What are they doing? Are they in the club with like a paper bag? Like, oh, baby, I don't know about this. Talk to my cousin over there.
Look, I was just waiting for the light skin bar to come because y'all brought up Maine. That's all.
We don't need no bars.
Right.
Terrence does it all himself. We don't need no.
He do it all himself.
Talk about Terrence.
He do it all himself, man.
Right. All right, so let me ask y'all this: Who would y'all like to see replace Chadwick? I actually think they probably I think they're gonna go with Shuri being the Black Panther. I think that's probably where it was gonna go anyway, because based on the story, they kind of want to kind of stick to that. But who would y'all like to see replace him? I hate to say that replace too. I hate to say that word, but
I would say, my first instinct would be to go along the lines of making Shuri the Panther, or you could do some sort of, since they're doing all this multiverse stuff now, you could have a Black Panther from another world, who is a black actor, and they just, of course they just, you could get anybody at that point. You could get any hot black actor that they want, and
I think you just solved it.
Hey man, hey.
Nobody's gonna turn down that role if it's offered to.
Mahershala Ali, man. I can't say
he's gonna be Blade. Bro.
He already Blade. He Blade.
Man, I would. You said who would I like to see?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Who I would like to see. Yeah, hypothetically, that's who I would like to see. Now,
that would be good. That would
if I could think of anybody that ain't slated off to be another hero, I don't know yet. I got to think about that, but I would love to see him.
I was gonna say, I know Chadwick hasn't been in a movie in a while, but I say him.
Who that?
He's also already in the Marvel universe.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. I can't think about anybody.
Damn, man, it ain't that many black people in Hollywood, so
they snapped them all up.
You're like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's he played a couple of
Kevin Hart on stilts. Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I know, right?
Stilts in a damn voice box.
Yes.
Say with your chest, Killmonger. Say with your chest.
Look, put it. Think about this.
Why you call her auntie? She ain't your auntie.
I wasn't ready, Thanos. I wasn't ready.
I mean, listen, man. If you get an opportunity to damn to do anything in the MCU, like I was just watching an interview with Kevin Smith. And he talked about how Kevin Feige called him a couple of times, and he was like, "Damn, maybe this would be my chance, my opportunity to be in the MCU." And he was like, both phone calls, he was like, "Nope, didn't ask me to be in the MCU." So everybody and their mama right now wants to be in the MCU. So I couldn't imagine seeing anybody now anything, right? So I mean, listen, you have some major shoes to fill, though.
Yeah,
like they always say, you don't want to be the guy after the legend. You want to be the guy who came after the, after the legend. You know what I'm saying? The guy after the guy. So, it's gonna be some big shoes to fill. It's gonna be some big shoes to fill, and but you have to find someone who had just as big as stones as Chadwick did.
Yeah,
because anybody coming in there. You might come in there pussyfoot. It's like, nah, bro.
They can't be afraid to remix it either. They cannot be afraid to remix that character either, because, and I mean, I'm talking about the actor, not the people not the writers, not the director, but the actor himself that has the stones. He's got to be able to not be afraid to remix it. He can't be looking at it like, I have to be Chadwick. He's got to be himself.
You got to make it your own.
Right, because if you look at all of the different Jokers, I love the Joker. But if you look at all the different Jokers, all of them give something to that role. All of them do. I love them all, man. But nobody did better than my man. Rest in peace. I forget his name.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger was the best Joker. Period. Then comes Jack Nicholson and whatever. But I swear, if he's just not afraid to let it be what it is. And the directors and everybody said that's the guy. I'm cool with it. I'm bringing my whole family to it. You know what I'm saying?
Black Panther 2 is gonna be an emotional thing, man.
It's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be crazy. They brought white people out in dashikis for number 1, so I'm just like, what's gonna happen for 2? White people with Ungawa.
That's what gave Adele the stones to come out in the Bantu knots.
Oh Lord, don't remind me, bro. Don't remind me.
I thought you were gonna say Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. That's where they got the inspiration from.
But Dave, did you see Adele at the Jamaican Fest? Look that up, man. It was some Jamaican fest over in London, man. She was out there like she wanted to get chose by one of the Marley sons or something, man.
She's divorced now. She's trying to get the beef patty.
Yeah.
Oh God.
With extra sauce.
She gonna be old girl in the damn Third Good Marshall movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Whoever saw it know what the hell I'm talking about.
I know.
Wait a minute, hold
Yeah.
on. Do I have the ability to share? Do I have the ability to share my screen? Because I can show Dave the picture. Dave said he haven't seen the picture.
Kyle been playing with the toys. Kyle, let him know. Can you share a screen with this shit? I don't think so. No, you can. It says share screen at the bottom, right? It's
right.
Fourth.
Yeah, I think okay, hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see.
From your thing.
Oh snap! Put the porn down.
Okay,
too,
okay.
Hurry up.
I did. I already took care of that.
He knocked that out already.
You knocked it out. All right.
Oh. All right, Dave, can you see that?
I gotta add it.
Oh, now I see it.
Right, I saw that yesterday.
Is that real? Oh no.
Yeah,
that's real.
Yeah, I was like, is that really real? That somebody put a head on somebody's body?
That's what it. Yeah, that's scary.
It looks real to me, man. I mean, I seen it too. That was
Real to me, damn it.
That was a real good laugh. If nothing else, Demonze, it was a good laugh.
Nobody has said it isn't real, so we got to roll with it. But yeah, that's it.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you, she done lost some weight. She's
a lot of weight.
She lost a lot of weight. She feeling good. She's feeling good. You know, she got a little bit too loose. She just got a little bit too loose. But she feeling good. She having a good time. She's letting everybody know. Hey man, listen, this is the new Adele right now. You had Big Adele, you got Little Adele. Like you had Big Luther, you had Little Luther. She out there, she feeling herself. She just went a little bit too far. But go ahead. Live your life. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why go on the other side?
And with that, he logged himself out. Damn.
Right. He just left us.
Demonze, come back. Come back, Demonze.
That was a walk-off grand slam there. Bro.
Right. He was like, he dropped the mic right there. That's what he did. He was like,
well, here he comes back.
Damn, Adele took me out.
Cuz I thought you did a walk-off homer there.
He did an Obama drop the mic.
Oh no, but yeah, but Adele feeling herself on here, girl.
I want to go into something real quick though, and like D, you kind of allude us to it, not to make it not to bring down the mood, but I think over the past week we have dealt with a lot of talking about transitions and people who we've admired, who we've lost. You know, talking about Chadwick, talking about John Thompson yesterday, talking about the Blake murder, and even going back to last weekend, a lot of people was talking about Kobe on his birthday, and bringing him back up again, and it's rough. Like D, you having to explain certain things to your daughter. And I think there have been other mentions of people with kids having to do similar things, and people have put up their pictures of their kids. I think a lot of them were set up, people let out their grief in different ways, and whether you're doing it to get likes or not, as long as there's some real grief there, I ain't mad at you, but I ain't about to put my kid in a Wakanda pose and drop tear ducts on his eyes just to get the light.
Damn.
Man,
I guarantee you at least one person. I guarantee you somebody did that.
Kyle, the first three I saw.
I guarantee you somebody did that.
It's that's the cold ass blood. What is the hell? It's something stronger than some damn sangria in that cup.
Ain't no drinking, Dave.
Come here, Tyrone. Let me drop this Vaseline on your face. Say what kind of fever? What kind of fever?
That's some cynical shit.
I had that thought when I was stone cold sober, Dave. I just don't believe some of these people out here online, man.
But you're exercising your drunk uncle muscle, so I like that. And the minds will let you know about exercising. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Rook.
It's repetition and it's consistency. That's what gets you there, right?
Very true.
But yo, I'm gonna let you know that to Kyle's credit, man, the first 3 I saw, I was like, damn, that's what's up. And then I started seeing the same thing with more kids. And some kids were blinking, winking, and some kids was like, looking at the TV while they was doing it. I was just like, what the hell is really going here with parents, dog? They're not even getting the right take, man. They got so many takes that they picked the wrong one and put it up there.
Right, you got these kids with all these toys. They setting up a funeral on their floor.
All the Marvel universe. Superman just happened to be there, though.
That's the first thing an 8-year-old is going to think of when they hear a famous person dies.
8-year-old, 6-year-old.
Exactly.
That's even young.
Man,
whatever age it is, Dave, but these kids are around that age, and they're not that showy. Okay, then so somebody got to be helping them with these.
Right, of course. They're not like, let me go get on my dad's Instagram right now. They're not saying that, yo. It's
I got to do this. I got to do this fake memorial for the Grammy.
Dude, this is the age we live in, bro.
Right,
the age we live in. I got a 12-year-old son, and I used to pray that this boy would ask me to go outside. Never would ask me to go outside ever. I'd have to, hey, don't you want to go outside? He like, sure, Dad. And in that kind of, I'm gonna make my dad please sort of way. Dude, he never wants to go outside. He want to play video games. That's the kids that we bringing up right now. Ain't it crazy? Your girl is a lot more active though, and I think that's because you guys are doing a great job with her, man. Like,
well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, y'all do a great job with her.
I mean, listen, Dave know how it is to have girls, and
look at Dave.
It's different.
Just taking it in, like
it's different. It is. I mean, Dave can attest to it, man. It's different having girls, and he has 2 of them.
Right. We hear them every time. I don't know where they at right now.
I mean, girls could put you through a flux. But you know what, man? I will say this. I think we have a little creative on our hands. Yep. Oh, there you go. On cue.
Shout out.
They beards are burning.
I think we got a creative on our hands. I think she has told us about 10 times that she's writing a movie. And check this out. She actually has written scripts. And she has us kind of like, all right, Dad, here's your line. Mama, here's your line. We doing this. I've shot a half a movie of hers that I have on my laptop that she wants me to kind of edit. But the thing is, remember, she's 8. Right. And she's going to think of something else in the next hour. Right. And be like, hey, Dad, what about this idea? So
a lot of those directors, their stories do begin with being children and
being children.
Their own films.
So what I've been doing, I've been telling Chanel, like, all right, listen, I think she's telling us something that this is kind of like what she's into. Like, she doesn't want to necessarily be on camera. She wants to be behind the scenes. But since it's only the 3 of us in the house, she has to act too. She doesn't want to, but she has to. So,
it's casting.
It's casting. Goes, man. Yeah. Listen. I hit up. I got Anton Deshawn. He's an independent filmmaker here, and I was like, hey, I'm like, hey, do you have any questions for Uncle Anton? She's like, yeah, I do. And she started asking Anton questions. And I'm like, hey, dude, it seems as if she kind of like this.
Look,
so, dude, she's written TV scripts. She's written TV movies. She's into what's a casting director? Is it somebody to do the wardrobe? Hey,
let me give you one golden nugget right quick, and it's gonna give you maybe a whole entire week of freedom. Okay? Tell her about storyboarding and how important it is to movies and TV and everything. And if she can draw her own storyboard it, then you'll go to that next level. Dude, she gonna be gone for a month. Storyboard, she'll be drawing, because that's the next level. When she gets, she's writing them right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's writing.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the next thing she needs to do, she needs to show Daddy how he needs to pose. She needs to show Mommy how she needs to walk in with the drawing. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I kind of laid it out to her like, okay, this is how a script looks. Because first she was just kind of like, she's 7 to 8 years old. I mean, she just turned 8 in April, so she's just kind of writing sentences. I'm like, nah, and she wants me. All right, Daddy, here's your lines. I'm like, what the hell is this?
That's so cute, though. That is so cute.
So I'm like, I can't read this. And she's looking at me
that's so cute. I'm dying.
like, she was like, what is
Somebody
your
call
problem?
911.
Read the lines.
Shoot me.
She's like, read the lines. So I'm like, nah, Grace, it has to be like the character's name and then the other character's name. Like, you got to have a dialogue. She was like, oh. So then after that, I swear to y'all, she was like, boom, she got it. And then she's like, okay, here it is. And sure enough, it came like a script. So I'm like, okay, like, damn,
That's
you actually
dope,
picked
man.
up on that.
Oh,
It's almost kind of like that. It's almost kind of like that skit Dave Chappelle said when his son came home and he was making macaroni necklaces. It's like, man, you came from my balls, man. Like, I'm doing all this. It came from my balls. You know what I'm saying? So she was able to pick up on that. And I was like, oh shit, like you like retaining this shit. Like you actually doing it. Like, okay, all right, we'll see what happens.
That's how you know.
And
That's how you know you've been doing a good job, man.
Yeah.
How you know?
Hey,
How you know.
we're doing something. We're doing
Gracie's
something right,
awesome,
you know.
Yeah.
So I would thank I'm gonna say thank you, Rook, for that. I'm gonna go out and get her some what you call the poster boards, basically old school poster boards, and just say, I'm guessing that's what I should do. Get her some poster boards, or
Type and
just get a
paper,
bunch of paper.
man.
What should I?
Type and paper.
Oh, all right, I know
She might mess them poster boards up. You know, them things expensive.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, clear
That's
paper,
true.
type and paper. And if she if she masters it, then we can graduate to some poster board. And she'd be like, oh my God, good paper. You know what I mean? We're gonna graduate in little increments. Cool. Oh man, dog.
Got it.
Keep doing what you're doing. You too, Dave, because them girls are quiet as hell. I don't know how the hell you doing it. I don't know how you do it.
Me? I've been here for the last hour plus.
Dave
my wife
had
probably put them to sleep.
Quiet girls up in there. I don't know how you do it.
Last week though, they was playing piano.
Right. Last week they was like telling Dave what to do. Blah, 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 blah. And he was just like,
like Ray Charles or somebody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We got Demonze doubled over, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. They got y'all got some creative girls, man. You might have the next Ava DuVernay Demonze, and Dave may have the next. The next Alicia Keys up in there.
Yeah, come on out here, Kyle, and get your girl that you say you like, boy. Yeah.
Wow, you really putting all my business out there.
Coming out there, you ain't got to tell them nothing. Just come on out here and come get her. You know what I'm saying? And join the club, brother. Join the club because you already got something in hand. Join the club.
I guess I'm not the drunkest one now, huh?
He ain't. No, I guess not. Trust me, you're not. David just trying to be nice,
I'm actually about to take a vacay from the gig. This is like a week or whatever like that, because Grace is going to start school soon. Oh yeah, Dave, have the girls started school out there yet? What's going on with that?
I mean, online though. Oldest one has.
Online? Okay, all right. So Grace starts up school soon, so I'm gonna take that week off. Just to go, you know what I'm saying? Because Chanel teaches. She's a kindergarten teacher, and Grace is going to third grade, so it's kind of like okay. Let me be here so I can kind of like not have Chanel, you know what I'm saying, put the foo-fops on her because she bothering all the time. So it's like, okay, Daddy's going to be here for the first week of school just to kind of make sure everything is good, whatever like that. And she's a smart kid.
Yeah. Transition got like a week because I've seen a lot of parents posting about their kids starting this week. With
Grace, we transferred Grace. She's going to CPS school now. She's going to the same school that Chanel teaches at. Because, like, listen, man, let me tell you something. Why am I paying all this money and she gonna be at home?
Exactly.
I mean, I've been paying. We've been paying tuition from daycare to tuition since she was 1 or 2 years old, and it's kind of like. You know, I mean, third grade is a very important year because it's like testing and stuff like that. So third grade is a really important grade, you know. But it was kind of like your mama's a teacher. She's gonna know the teacher who you're being taught by. You're gonna be at home.
Not an idiot. So
I'm not that dumb. So I can at least get you by. So but I'm like, yeah, man, why are we paying all this money? Like, let's save some bread, whatever like that. So she starts next week. So we still got an extra week for her, and I'm taking off a week. So saying everything will be kind of cool. So, but no, man, it's a lot of transition. It's a lot of a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm sure y'all talked about it on plenty of shows, man. This has been a wild, crazy year. It seems like every
But D,
week
yeah, D,
has been like something else.
I wanted to talk a little bit before we wrapped up about, because I think you mentioned it on your social media about actually wanting to reach out to professionals.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I've seen more of that. I think less stigma is the stigma is sort of erasing itself from Black people in regards to that, because more of us, I think, know better about withholding things in, and we're just dealing with so many things, like you say, on the daily, on a weekly basis in our society around us, and personally, that it's not healthy to keep those things in. And I think with this year being what it was, I just want to get a feeling from y'all about, if y'all have changed your thinking in any way regarding, self-preservation or just the way that you take in things that grieve you or grievance you. What has that meant to you? Given the stuff that we've seen this year.
I did post that. And I am serious about it. The way I've been able to handle a lot of things in my life I've been able to just talk, right? Even before I left the shows and everything, I had kind of been thinking about it, but I do think that was a way for me to kind of like just kind of get things off your chest, and being able to just kind of, like you just said, just talk, right? Be able to throw things off each other. Kyle, you know what I'm saying? We doing stuff, we can throw stuff off you. Rook, when you ever came on the show, Dave, whenever you came on the show. I think talking is good. It really is. It really is good for the soul. But at the same time, man, as you was alluding to, Kyle, we are embedded. Maybe embedded is not the word. We're inundated.
Yeah.
Yep.
By so much. We are inundated by so much through social media, through media in general.
Yes, sir.
And also too, what's been going on with this particular year, it's been hitting a lot of people within the household, right? So that can be from either coronavirus, that could be from unemployment, that can be from the death from coronavirus, or just death in general, because people deal with that all the time, right? And you have to deal with people who might have blended families, in the sense of like racial blend of families, racism, right? Yes. So it's a lot going on, because we are a diverse country. Let's not sugarcoat it. We are, and we have diverse environments, right? I think it was James Baldwin said, if you're a conscious Black man and feel like you're always in anger, I'm like paraphrasing, but you're always enraged. You're always enraged. Yeah. And I do believe I am conscious of what's going on. I try to make sure that I am aware and in tune to what's happening, but at the same time, of you being so conscious, being conscious of what's happening, it can almost be an overload.
It hurts more.
And I want to bring up quick there's a guy close to both of us who spoke particularly openly about that on our text chain, a text chain that we have. Me and D are both on, and he spoke to that this past week. And I told him, like, man, you got to unplug at some point, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, you're 100% right. I think it is good. I think it is good to unplug. I think I am very plugged in, and that could be a detriment to me, but I also kind of think it's cathartic for me. But everybody, that's not for everybody, right? But at the same time, man, I mean, I am conscious of what's going on, and it can be it can be an overload. I I just think about my surroundings. Not even my surroundings. I'm sorry. I think about my upbringing. Now, listen. I can honestly say I had a privileged life in the hood. You know, compared to what some of my friends and family members went through, and I still grew up in the middle of Inglewood.
Same here.
And I look back at myself like, damn, I was really lucky, right? Although still we was like hood rich, if you want to say, right?
Mhm.
But even going back then and everything that I saw from family members, death of family members, death of friends, just the social unrest and unravel within my community, right? And then as I grow older, kind of have some of the sweet spots, maybe in my 20s and early 30s, but I was probably naive to what was going on because you know what? We didn't have social media. It was happening on the outside, but it wasn't really penetrating yet. And then what do we have? We have social media. I'm in tune to that, and now I'm just seeing it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm not right because I don't want to belittle it for people who might be going through mental issues. I hope I'm saying that right? I'm not trying to belittle it, but I'm sure I could probably guarantee you the things that I've seen in my life has not done my mind well. And I'm 100% positive the things that I am constantly seeing on a daily basis is not doing my mind well. So that's when I finally came out and said, like, well, maybe I've been thinking about it. Like maybe it's something deep inside of me that I just have not been able to tap into, unlock in some kind of way. I think when I'm talking to you guys right now, just talking about it is cathartic. But I'm sure it's something on a deeper level. So I think I've gotten past the black stigma because I'm sure I had it. Because as we kind of grow up within the black community, are you okay?
All us got it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sure I think I've finally outgrown that, and I can say as a man that's not weakness. As a black man, I can say that's not weakness. And I'm sure that it's something. I'm constantly seeing it, man. I'm constantly seeing it, and something's triggering me, and not in a bad way. It's more so kind of like, ugh, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not like I don't lash out. Not a violent person. I try to be as positive as I can be. You know what I'm saying? My hothead days are in the past. But I'm thinking like, damn, man, I have my child 8 years old, and I got to worry about this. Well, I have to explain to other people about this. Rook, Dave, my 9 to 5, everything was going on with George Floyd. People was reaching out like, hey, you know what I'm saying, why we should be talking about this. We should be talking about this. And I led a talk about racial issues in America with my entire company.
Oh wow.
They kind of like one guy, we have a African American ERG, and the co-leader wasn't there. He was out that particular week, and the young lady who was a co-chair, she's like, hey, you mind doing this with me? And I was like, all right, cool, because I talk. We had the radio shows. I can ramble as you're seeing right now. But that was something, man, brothers. I never thought in my wildest dreams that Demonze Spruiel from West Inglewood would be leaving a talk about racial injustice to over 200 people in a company in one of the biggest companies in the United States of America. I never thought that in my life.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
even that kind of hit me in a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like now I gotta explain this shit, and at the same time I could be a hashtag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like that's what they don't get.
That's what
they don't get. That's what they don't get.
And
that's the hard thing to explain.
Yeah,
there's a duality there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And listen, I'm grateful that one, they thought of me in that light to have that talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that lets me know that, okay, I ain't that dumb. You know what I'm saying? I can at least explain what's kind of happening.
But at the same time,
it's kind of like
been the only option.
Yeah, you the only black friend.
It was a sister. It was a sister who I'm close to at the gig. She asked me to do this with her. I wasn't gonna have a sister go out there and she tried to explain it to herself. She asked me, and I was like, "You damn right. I'm standing right next to you, and yeah, we need to talk about this."
She's smart.
So I wasn't gonna leave. Yeah, I wasn't gonna leave her out. But at the same time, like you said, Cuzzo, it's a duality about it because I'm explaining it. But even in the talk, I was like, that could have been me. And one of my fears is to become a hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not out of that.
It
exists on every level.
It weighed on my mind. It weighed on my mind.
It exists on every level of life. It doesn't matter how big you are in society, what station you are. It doesn't matter how much of a representative you are of the community, whether you want to speak out or not. You can't always end up.
There you go. Oh, you thought they were asleep. We ain't asleep, Daddy.
Hey, girl.
What you doing here? What you doing here, Daddy? You ain't doing nothing.
We just danced. Look at her. So
but no, because like you said, it doesn't matter who you are, where you from, social economics or lower class, middle class. It doesn't matter. We are living in this duality in America, and it weighs on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm taking this week off from work, but at the same time, it's like, man, I need a break, and I hardly take vacations from the gig. I'm usually like, yeah, I can just keep on working. Don't worry about it. It's like the first time in a long time, man. It's kind of like I need a break. Like I need a break,
man.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Even if you ain't done that much, you can use a break. Like that there's those various memes out there, like your black friend is not doing well. You know, it's not necessarily that we're all on the verge of breaking down. There's levels of these things, and we all internalize these things differently. But it like you said, we've all been affected just by living in this nation and seeing the things that we've seen. We've seen things in our families. We've experienced things ourselves. We've seen things happen to strangers that affected us deeply. And we can't ignore those things because it only tears us up inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic slave syndrome. There you go.
Hey, man. And I'm talking about Dr. Joy. I love her because she talks about trauma and she talks about the science behind trauma or what makes it so horrible for anybody. You know what I mean? Because all of us as humans that are living go through trauma. But a lot of us don't get help from it, you know, because that's how we get to the next day. We get help from our trauma, and sometimes we can digest it and go on to the next day. Most times, Black people, we digest it the wrong way. You know what I mean? We get some Hennessy, you know, we go to the club, we might like delve into some art or whatever, but we forget it. You know what I mean? The trauma's happen.
Right.
And we don't really necessarily take care of it. And here's the thing that makes white America need to take notice of this. We haven't gotten a lot of the benefits that they've been getting. So we don't have the funds to be saying, you know, let me put aside this amount of money for the family to get help. We don't have those funds to do that. You know, if we had them funds in my family, dog, we were gonna go to like Wisconsin at the end of the year. Cause see, I didn't get Jordans and shit like that. Right. Yeah. We would go somewhere close, but it
Black
would
folks
be
don't
out of
have summer
Chicago.
houses.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't getting Jordans, man. That's what it was. I wore Vias, and I was an athlete. But we used to be able to go out of town, and our family looked at us like we was rich. But that was our therapy. But you know, Black people have always done that. We've always found therapy, right? You know, we've always gone to like church and done our thing on Sundays. Some people actually can like afford to go out of town, but a lot of us don't have the indisposable funds to be able to do shit like that. And that's why white America needs to take notice.
And listen. Oh, go ahead. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, damn, if I hold my breath here, I'll be carrying me out. What was I gonna say? So, I mean, I don't know, Rook, as far as it being white America needed to take notice. I think mental health is really a personal initiative. I mean, or even more of a community initiative, but it's something that's definitely lacking in our community. And, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be something where you got to go spend money to go, you know, get mental health, get therapy, or at least you don't have to spend money on an experience as a salve to, you know, I guess cure whatever wound or whatever hardship that's going on. It's you know, speaking about it and talking about it to the right people. I mean, a big part of what happens in the Black community is that we carry shit like it's a badge of honor, or that if we share our hurt, if we share our pains, one, we're concerned no one will care because someone else is going through the same thing, or two, they'll see it as weakness. Especially Black men are the most to blame about it. I mean, if you say anything about Black women, they're a little bit more proactive on seeking therapy. Men, we seek, you know, to your point, find our therapy in things that don't really are the worst things to seek them in. And though I don't know much about alcohol, I do know that people tend to seek therapy in the bottle. I think that right.
And everything, bro. Everything.
Right. Well, not
like
everything. There are
some
very
people
specific.
like a bottle. Some people like get way too many they gamble out here. Motherfuckers gamble until they asses ain't got no money. So,
I mean,
a lot of things, a lot of vices.
Well, no, there's a lot of vices, but I mean, the ones that tend to be in most people's access are, unfortunately, is going to be alcohol and, you know, recreational drugs. So the point is that you have to figure out a way to, you know, have those conversations with people when you are feeling traumatized by whatever is going on in the media, or if it's something that's directly affecting you with that, and, you know it's and be okay or have enough strength to share that with somebody else. I mean, that really can be the thing that saves you.
Again, there's value in talking with strangers too, like professionals at least.
Definitely.
Yeah,
because a lot of times I think when we try to talk with people who know us, we worry about, you know, the way that we get judged with some of the things that we have to unload, and you know that doesn't work when you're putting.
It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
We got to get somebody. You got to get somebody that ain't got nothing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they're not invested in that way, and you don't have to feel defensive about the things that you feel. You know, it's I've undergone a short period of therapy when I was in Wisconsin. It was through my work, and it was very valuable at the time. I wish I could have done more of it. You know, but like Rook said, I didn't have the money for that. I didn't have the coverage for that as well. You know, so
you know, and I'm just saying.
Listen, the only reason why I can even do it right now is because I have the 9 to 5. Look how many people have lost their jobs.
Yeah,
wolves out there trying to eat.
So
shouldn't
it be a human right? You know what I mean? Shouldn't it be a human right?
We should all have
access to something.
We should all have access to that stuff.
Overseas, they do, man. Certain places overseas, they do. They try to make sure that happens. And you know what happened in Chicago? We got rid of a lot of our help. We got rid of a lot. When we cut out a lot of these schools, we cut out a lot of the mental.
And a lot of whether you're talking about adults or children, a lot of these children really need someone to talk to.
That's when you need to get them as children. Yeah.
Yep. Because you get a lot of stuff that's happening in these streets being done by kids. And there's in a lot of ways because they don't know how to deal with the things that they got to see day in and day out. And it's
what's crazy, and it was crazy by the if you want to say it by the grace of God or by sheer luck, either one of us could have went down that same road. You know what I'm saying? That's how thin it is in life That's how
Yeah.
thin it is in life, man. And they wonder
And
why
the mind.
America's going crazy.
But
And
yeah,
Demonze, we could write a book off of it. Each one of our stories of how we kept from doing that, we could write a book off of it.
you're right. You're right.
Straight up.
And I think as far as this show goes, I think part of the purpose of this show, I think, is going to be to allow ourselves to let off things that we need to let off. And
we do that. We gotta get to the point of brainstorming how to do it for everybody. How to get more people to get this what we got here, because we definitely got it. We went in last week, Demonze. We went in last week.
We keep doing it, and we set an example by keeping doing what we do. I think that's one of the ways that we could help. And I advise any black person, anybody, period, in America. You got something on your mind. Try to deal with it. Try to let it out. Don't let it ruin you from within. But we got to wrap up. Dave got to put his kids to bed, and we got Demonze. I'm glad you was able to hang out with us, man.
That was fun, Demonze. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite, brothers. Y'all know I love y'all, man.
We gotta get you back on every now and then. I know you don't like to talk as much as you used to, but
yeah, I have taken a step back, because y'all can see once I get going, I won't shut the hell up.
That's awesome.
But you know what, man? I appreciate this. This was good. Just to having a talk was great. So no, man, I appreciate it, brothers. I really do.
I want to plug. I'm gonna try to put out tomorrow. Demonze wrote a nice piece in response to Lovecraft Country, in the third episode that aired on Sunday. Dave, have you been watching that?
No, I was about to say thanks for the reminder. I need to. I just got finished watching The Last Dance, so I'm definitely behind.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about The Last Dance, unfortunately, this week. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah,
but
you gonna be ready, Dave? Talk about The Last Dance. You gonna be ready?
Yeah, I finished.
All right, yes, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
But
nice.
Yeah, this we'll go into some other stuff next week as always. We'll always have something to talk about, as you can see, and just glad you brothers are good and made it through another week. And but before we go though, I want to do something right quick on John Thompson. I brought him up a little earlier, and I'd be remiss if we didn't bring him back up right quick. Rookie and Demonze, I know in particular, you guys probably have something you can say about him right quick. And Dave, I shared the thing with the Rayful story. I think that was something that you would have liked. Did you read that?
No, yeah, that I mean, that's powerful. I mean, it speaks to his control over his players and his influence to be able to.
He was a real father figure and a needed father figure. When you look at people like Alonzo Mourning and Dikembe coming over from Africa, and Allen Iverson is probably the clearest example of people who he really
He's the best.
He really changed. He was a shining example of black manhood, as Ozzie Davis said about Malcolm X. He really built men up, and he built a program that though, like I say, a lot of black people thought the black school in DC was Georgetown and not Howard.
And that's what I was gonna say. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
He made folks think Georgetown was an HBCU.
Right.
That's a powerful shit.
It's crazy.
That's
crazy,
powerful.
bro.
Big John was powerful.
And we was wearing that in the hood. Remember we was wearing that in Chicago? We was wearing that in Chicago.
I had a starter coat.
Georgetown.
We was wearing UNLV in Chicago. Like,
yes, a private school in Washington. Are they in Maryland or are they in DC?
They're in DC.
In DC.
Dave, was you on one of those trips? We went to Howard, but we spent some time on the Georgetown campus. Yeah. Like that was. It's white as hell in Georgetown.
Yeah, and he had brothers. They had brothers in the hood walking around with the Georgetown. Listen, man, you didn't have back in the day. If you have an Allen Iverson jersey, Georgetown jersey, man, you wasn't doing it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that was real quick. That was because I know David got to go. That was the power of Big John. That was the power of John Thompson Jr.
Yeah. And we spoke a lot about.
Man, you're gonna be missed. You're gonna be missed, man.
He's another brother that set a clear example, and hopefully a lot of people follow it. going forward. We definitely need that in sports, but we need that
Yes.
in the black community in general.
Yeah.
The example that John Thompson set. So I just want to make sure that. Oh man, yep. But y'all see
what
the
is he
private
looking?
chat?
Is he looking at you? Is he giving you the Dave look? Is he doing that?
No, he put something in the private chat. I don't.
Oh,
I can't read. They can't read.
I'm dead, bro.
Oh man,
I'm dead,
that's
bro.
dead. Dang.
This needs to make the real right here because people don't know what the hell's going on.
Rook said,
Yeah,
he
I don't know what we laughing at, boy. Let's let you know it's from Dave. It's from Dave.
Yeah, I may allude to it in on YouTube, but we'll see. But all right, that's it, man. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Thanks again, brothers, man. Have a good week, and Dave and Rook, I'll see y'all next week, man.
All right, man. Until next week. Peace out. Demonze. Holla.
Hey, keep hands to yourself. Hey.
Keep following the D and Davis show. The best of D and Davis with Demonze is still available online at all major podcast platforms. And we are Regal Radio because we keep on doing it, man.
All right, there you go, cuzzo. All right, boy. Love you, man.
Love you too. That's it. We are RegalRadio.com. War on Anchor. War Media on YouTube. Keep following, keep subscribing, keep sharing. And we'll be back next week in the building with the guys. Talk to y'all later.